Stephen A. Smith back in the house with my panel talking about the $40 million slaves that are today's black athletes. Dr. Moore, I want to go to you first because I wanted to bring up Jackie Robinson. I'd be remiss in neglecting to bring him up before I ended this show. Jackie Robinson, some people were saying your book intimated, somebody in the book intimated, that bottom line is this. Jackie Robinson integrating Major League Baseball basically killed the Negro Leagues. And before I get your response, let me play something from Buck O'Neil. He was on this show. Buck O'Neil, this is what he had to say about Jackie Robinson integrating baseball.
What had happened, it killed Negro League Baseball. Well, actually, it shouldn't have been Negro League Baseball, no way. The only reason it was Negro League Baseball, they wouldn't let us play Major League. So we organized a league of our own, which was a great league. And see, Hollywood wants you to think that Negro League was something. Negro League was the third largest black business in this country.
Dr. Moore, you heard that. What are your thoughts about that, especially looking at today's athlete and the fact that you believe, we all believe, they refuse to mobilize as much as they can, to empower themselves? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's sad, man, when, I take my wife and children to an LSU football game or to a sporting event when I go home to Cleveland, and the crowd is 99% white. And many of us don't realize it now, but Negro League Baseball, the owners were black, the owners of the stadium were black, the owners of the grounds crew were black, the owners of the concession stand were black. And so in many ways, not only did you have African-American ball players, but you had a whole host of businesses. Everything related to the enterprise was owned by African-Americans. And it's really hard for us to imagine that now, particularly if we go to a game, to see the Philadelphia 76ers play. With only black folk you really see are those either playing on the court or those selling popcorn and hot dogs.
Tim, taking that into consideration, is it ever going to get better?
Well, I mean, he makes a great point, but we got to keep in mind a couple things. It may very well get better, but it's not going to until we start to address some of the fundamental core reasons why black businesses, not just the Negro League, but black businesses throughout the country were devastated. It wasn't integration per se. It was the fact that along with integration came so-called urban renewal, where they just knocked down black neighborhoods. They put interstates through the heart of black and Puerto Rican communities, New York, Newark, all over the country, and knocked down as many as 70,000 black houses a year, tens of thousands, hundreds and dozens of businesses in every community. So every time we want to remember that, because otherwise, a lot of times I think white folks will sit back and say, see, they used to do for sales and now they don't. One of the reasons that became harder to do was because of the racist policies that took place with regard to housing, employment, and
Armstrong,
education.
what do you say in response to that?
Well, this is true, and there are always barriers, and there's always these issues that we deal with. But, the only point I want to make, and I cannot emphasize enough about buying this brother's book, is that the influence that these athletes have over children and our culture and the people who want to emulate them. I was just in Egypt, and all they were talking about was Allen Iverson.
But they're talking about Allen Iverson.
It's respect. It's respect, my man. It is respect.
I know they respect him because they feel he's real, and I know he's real, but I'm telling you right now, they also respect his ability. Most importantly than anything else, they respect his ability, Armstrong. They respect his ability to bounce a basketball and to play the game. But at the same time, they don't respect the fact that if he's sitting there saying, I don't really want to be traded, when you know he wants to be traded, because the bottom line is he's saying, I need to keep
totally
separate. It's not separate, but it's not separate according to what Bill is saying. You're telling them to be quiet, you know what, if you want to get your way.
But doesn't he have to be quiet? Doesn't he have a choice?
No. In fact, I'm challenging him to do more because of precisely of this impact that they have on culture.
And they do
if athletes, things they say, if they would make pronounced. For example, LeBron would have come and talked about this, the Voting Rights Act. If LeBron and Dwayne Wade would have gotten together and talked about the Voting Rights Act, how important it is. That would have made an impact. Unfortunately,
what can they talk about when they're coming out of going in the NBA 1 year out of high school?
That's the whole point.
But I think he's right. He's right there. I agree with that.
And that's another show. But one of the things we have, as a community, we've taken athletics for granted for so long. In high school, there should be a curriculum beginning in high school where everybody takes these courses in high school. They know the history, they know academics. So by the time they get to be seniors in high school, by the time they get to be in college, they're fluent. They're as fluent as you or anybody else. We've separated them that, well, all you guys got to do is run and be free, whatever. And we've abdicated our responsibility to them, and they've kind of abdicated their responsibility to us.
They can educate and influence these children in a way we can never. And influence them to read, learn, to study. They really can. They have that power.
Mr. Mowbray, what do you say to that? What do you say to what they're talking about here, that they separated? Answer that question.
Look, I agree with Bill's call for saying that athletes should take a greater role in helping the community and being role models. But at the same time, I don't think we should have extra expectations on black athletes than we do on white athletes.
All athletes. How about
all
that?
athletes. All athletes should be doing that. All athletes should set the role model.
All right.
And you know what? I
history
think
is
that's
different.
at the key. At the end of the day, that's the key.
Tim, I'll give you the last word. Go ahead, man.
Don't disagree with any of that. We actually have some agreement, some consensus. But I do want to suggest as we go out that until we also place as much emphasis on the folks who make policy, the folks who make laws, who are typically not black, who are definitely not slaves of any kind, but often the ones who have historically enslaved or benefited from that, we're not going to get anywhere. We've got to place as much expectation on the powerful, the elite who make policy, as we do the folks who are entertainers, who are athletes, who are
And we
super.
do.
We can do that, but
Hold on,
everybody
Joe.
who has
I got
to do
you.
something, they should do it.
I got you, Bill. I'll give you the last word. You're the author, man.
This is how I see this. You know, and it's nice hearing you, it's nice hearing.
Yes.
But I see this as a team. I'm looking at the black team, okay? And if I'm playing this, if I'm playing the Celtics, I don't really care about. I don't care what the Celtics are doing.
Right.
I want my team to be strong. I expect the Celtics to blitz. I expect the Celtics to press. I expect them to try to kick my. I want to make sure that my team is strong. If our team is stronger together, we're going to win. I just want us to win.
Appreciate it, my man. Thanks a lot. All right, Bill. Tim, Joe, Dr. Moore. The book is $40 Million Slave by the one and only William C. Roden. Thank you again, Bill Armstrong, Tim, Leonard, and Joe. Appreciate you guys being here, and I expect that $40 Million Slave will be talked about for a long time to come. When I come back, I'll tell you one way to make a quick $2 million. Stick around. You like to make money, don't you? Stick around.